Cathar Unconditional Love, number 33. Gnosticism. The secrets, or the secret of Gnosis. Why the secret of Gnosis? It's because over the years I've read a lot of literature, books on Gnosticism, Catharism, and these, Gnosticism is a philosophy, is not a religion. Catharism was a Gnostic Christian religion. But in these books, no one, I've not struck one that says they have achieved Gnosis or that they live as a Cathar in this present moment, this present era. So in that respect, if no one talks about it or writes about it or describes it in book form, in literature, then I suppose it would have to be termed a secret. It's like there's this particular mountain, and book after book describe the mountain, where it is, how it is, all these attributes about the mountain, but no one mentions having climbed the mountain or climbed the mountain up to a certain level, or that the fact that they're climbing the mountain. So the mountain we'll call Gnosticism or Catharism, but Gnosis is actually climbing the mountain. You're there involved with it. So in this respect, today I'm going to talk about Gnosis. It's quite a serious subject, but at the same time, we don't have to be too serious about when we talk about serious subjects. And I just was reminded about this Indian guru, Indian teacher, and he went to the dentist, and he said, "No, I don't want an injection." He said, "I'm trying to transcend dental medication." So this lends us to transcendence, because this is an essential point of Gnosis. To arrive at Gnosis is to go down the Cathar or the Gnostic path, of which there are many paths and many versions. You're on your own, I'm on my own, because it's a very personal and individual thing. One point. Is it a dangerous path? Well, it is, but it's not dangerous. What it's dangerous to is because the one thing about Gnosticism, Catharism, Gnosis is the absolute equality of male and female. In that respect, it's dangerous, because it's dangerous to anybody who wishes to control or make women out as a lesser person. Of course, the religions, very few religions is there where men and women are at the top, or even priests or priestesses, as they were with the Cathars. So gnostically, there's no difference. I mean, the sexual side of the aspect, it doesn't come into whether you're straight or gay or this or that colour. There's no higher, there's no class, there's etc. There's absolute egalitarian equality of everything, including the sexes. So from that point of view, yes, it's dangerous for those groups that wish to subjugate and control women for their own ends, their own purposes. But heading back to Gnosis, knowledge. So we're acquiring knowledge of Gnosticism. We're moving down the Gnostic path. And what's happened is that this knowledge, it's knowledge that not so much is in here, but it reverberates in your belly, emotionally. You feel this is good for you. And as you go down the path, you think, yes, this is my way, this is my journey, whichever way it is. But at some point, there has transcendence. Our guru's transcendental medication. Transcendence must come in. Now, transcendence might be you, which often happens early in the piece, through one way or another, one form or another, you will experience past lives. You will then realize, I am reincarnated, and you'll know for sure. You might experience psychic episodes. I hope you make connections with your spirit guide. This is critical. You may also find that you are a healer in different ways, by hands or one other, as the Cathars. The Cathars are renowned both for using herbs and medicine and as healers, which is interesting because although they're supposed to be, the body is of matter and supposedly evil, yet they spent a lot of, couldn't have been too evil, or they couldn't have derided the body, because they spent a lot of time healing and learning about medicine to look after our bodies. So the body, the Cathars certainly were interested in health and living a good life, and so they just didn't disdain material things, including our body. Otherwise, why spend all that time learning to be healers and using herbs, which they were renowned for? So you are now starting to ascend that mountain. I don't know whether one would ever reach the top from a Gnosis point of view, but as you move up, certainly things become clearer to you, because if you have a connection with your guide, I mean, my guide is Breda de Montsegur. I was burnt with the Cathars at Montsegur. I know this for a fact. It's come from different sources, who are totally unknown to each other. I have absolute acceptance of this. And not only that, as I'm talking to you, she spoke to me for a period of something like 8 years. And then as a friend of mine, I introduced him, Jim, or Guillaume, as he was referred to his guide, Henri de Labors. And then as his guidance became stronger and stronger, he had all these dialogues, which I've put down in book form, all these conversations with his guide. Breda, as far as talking, as you and I are now, that faded away. But she's 2 or 3 or 4 times a week, depending on what's happening, she, in no uncertain terms, lets me know that she's there, she's about. She rubs my face, or this, or something needs to be done, and she'll keep at it until it's done, or I get up and write something down, and then she stops rubbing my face. So there's a tremendous physicality about it. It's not just airy-fairy. Your spirit guides are there to assist you mystically, spiritually, but also physically. They are there to say, look, stop eating that junk food. Why should you be smoking? Why do you drink so much? Sure, these things are there to enjoy, but not to become an obsession. They're there to advise you. Past lives. There must be some aspect of transcendence which will occur to you. But as each of these things happened, it's telling you, it's signposting you that you are on the right path. What happens, you're getting this feeling of inner bliss, inner joy, because you know that you're right. And what happens, doesn't matter what religion it is. You realize, and it's fine for those people, and it's fine for people to believe, and that's their business. But you realize this is not for you. The moment you're with your guide, or you have these moments of transcendence or experiences of transcendence, you know you're on the right path. The rest just fades into insignificance. But leave that for those, because people love their religions, and why shouldn't they? But you're on a different path. You are now on the Gnostic path, but not only that, you have arrived at Gnosis. Now, very important. One needs knowledge. Knowledge is the key. Gnostic knowledge, to know about Gnosticism, and sufficient knowledge to get you certainly to have you meandering along the Gnostic path. But once you have these experiences of transcendence, whether past lives or healing or connecting with your guide or what it happens to be, you become psychic in some way or one way or another. A number of things may happen to you. What happens then is that you no longer have to seek Gnosis. Gnosis is given to you. So initially it's seeking, finding and arriving to a certain degree, but from that point onwards, because you now have a divine connection. Yours will be different to mine, and mine will be different to hers, and hers will be different to those. Doesn't matter. It's yours, you've got it, and you know it's right for you. And what happens then, the knowledge that you require will be given to you. The knowledge that I require, which could be quite different because I'm evolving in a different way, and we all have our own personal journey, I now am given this knowledge. Look, I went to the library, and walking down the path, down the aisle, and there was a book on the floor. Now, once or twice over the years, there has been a book on the floor. I picked it up and I thought, oh, that's the book for me. It's just there. This is what happens. It's very fleeting, a minor, but it's a transcendent moment. It's not your normal experience. Transcendence means it's above the normal. It's paranormal. It's something that transcends normal everyday living. Oh, okay. But I looked at the title. I thought, no, that's not for me. But I looked at the number and what it was. So I went to where it was on the shelf, and it went in that there. So I just didn't put it in. I had to push it in because all the books were tight. And that was it. And I went on my merry way. I went about 10 feet. I had, bang, looked around, the same books on the floor. So I knew then, okay, forget the title, let's look inside the book. And I looked inside the book. It was information that I was seeking on that particular day. So what I'm saying to you is that once you get at that certain point, you seek it, you arrive, and from that point onwards, Gnosis is given to you. Gnosis is that knowledge that you require for your journey, your guide, your guides, the holy ones that are there to assist you spiritually, mystically, physically. They are there for your good. You are not traveling alone. And believe you me, it's wonderful to know that these people are there. You are never alone. You are there. You've got one foot in the mystic camp and you've got another foot in the physical camp. And it's nice to be walking like this because it just becomes part of your life. So this is Gnosis. This is what the people who write about Gnosticism, Catharism, don't talk about. Now, I don't know, they don't talk about it because they haven't experienced it, or maybe they have and they don't want to out themselves. It's not just homosexuals sometimes that don't want to out themselves. There's people who feel they are Gnostics and they don't want to out themselves. In some countries, it's probably not a good idea to say that you want equality of the sexes and Gnostic equality. It could be quite dangerous. And the other thing is, no one needs to know if they don't want to know. There's some people I am totally open with, and there's other people I would never ever talk about Gnosticism or Catharism or Gnosis. But here I am talking to you, and I don't know where it's going to end up, but at least the people who tend to look at this are people who are seeking knowledge on that subject. So, Gnosis, yes, is a secret. The secret to obtaining it, that's you, me, anyone. It's travelling down your path, your particular path, to seek knowledge. You may not have heard of Gnosticism or Catharism or that. You could be just travelling down your path, which you feel is right for you, but things will happen to you. And if you're meant to go on that Gnostic path, and as what we call Gnosis, they will make sure that your guides, the holy ones, they will make sure that you're on the right path for you. Once you obtain transcendence, personal transcendence, and I mean things happen at a physical level as well. It could be money arrive in a certain way, or something to do with your health. It could be any way. Your guides, your spirit guides, those people there, quite apart from your family and friends who have departed, they're there for your good. Not just your spiritual good, not just your mystical good, but your actual physical good, your physical well-being. You are not alone. And it's a very, very nice feeling to have. And you don't need anybody else. You are on your own individual path for you. This is the Gnostic path. This is why Gnosticism can't be made into religion, because everybody's path is different. We can assist each other, we can help each other, we can guide each other, but ultimately you are responsible for your path. I am responsible for mine. And the Gnostic says that there's an origin, a source. There's a divine spark which is in each of us, animate and inanimate. And as we perfect ourselves and we evolve over our particular journey, over lifetimes, we eventually will return to the source. There's no need of salvation, there's no damnation. Everyone will ultimately return. So this is the Gnostic message. And Gnosis is you experiencing that at a personal level, not just reading about it, not just learning about it, not just having some scholarly erudition about Catharism. You are on that path. At some point you must obtain or transcend, things will happen. As that happens, it signposts you. You are now, this is Gnosis. This is the Gnosis. So I wish you well on your journey, and I hope it's as interesting and enjoyable as it is for me. Bye for now.